You know, I don't know if I said this in the intro video, but I really love making my own prints. Why don't you come take a look? Welcome back for those of you who are returning, and welcome, newcomers. I feel like we're all newcomers here. This is a really new channel. But no, I really do appreciate you stopping by. Let's go ahead and get the business out of the way. If you can hit that like and subscribe button, it means a ton. You know, YouTube gives us all these analytics. We can see all the data. And I appreciate every single like and subscribe you guys give me. That goes a long way to helping me feel motivated about putting the next video out, knowing that you all are interested. But what I'm going to be working on here today is I did a print, I did a shot, I did this shot right here, put a little Kodama, you know, right there underneath a mushroom. I took this, let me see if that, yeah. I took this shot when I was still in Tampa, but I made this print, and I found a frame that I really do love, that's gonna go with this print here. So there's a couple of things that I do enjoy working in sort of mixed media, and that's kind of something that we're going to be getting into on this print here, with the frame. As you can see, I've got this frame here, this gorgeous thing that I picked up. I saw it and I kind of immediately thought of this print here. I kind of went back and forth just a little bit. There was something else I was considering putting in this frame. It's actually a piece that I bought from another photographer, and I think that print actually works really well in this frame. But for the purposes of this print here, I think that what I'm looking to do here is going to really go well with this picture. What I've got here is I've got some Old English wood conditioner and cleaner. We're gonna go ahead and use this, and we're gonna go ahead and wipe down and clean up the frame. I'm not really gonna do a ton to it aside from that. But in this portion right here, this right here is like a little, it's some sort of like fabric or something. It's just very soft in texture. I'm actually really interested in, I got some of this preserved moss. I'm really interested in putting some moss, adhering some moss to this portion of the frame. But not only moss, I have crushed quartz crystals and crushed amethyst crystals. And I think I'm going to lay out some moss and some crystals apply that to this light part of the frame here. Now I consider myself a little crafty, but I'm not gonna lie to you, like I haven't done this before. So I really, this is just an idea, a vision that I have that I want to try and put down into this piece here. And I figure, why not come along for the ride? So let's go ahead and get into it. I think that what I'm actually gonna do is I am going to start with wiping down the frame. We will start there. Makes the most sense. I don't know if that needs to be shaken or not. It's a habit. Oh, there goes the moss. All right, got plenty of paper towels in case this one doesn't keep up to the task. Try to make sure I'm not. Let's see here. Oh wow. Now, this is probably, as I mentioned before, like this is nothing, I've never done anything like this before. The utilization of this oil and stuff is something that was recommended to me by a friend who I trust. But I've never worked with frames in this manner. I do like finding, especially thrifting frames, you can find some really unique, and that's exactly how I came upon this one. That you can find some really different and unique frames. I really enjoy finding new ways to express my creativity in photography. I have some really, really interesting ideas that I'm really looking forward to being able to, test out, really fully test out. But it's genuinely, it's just something that I enjoy. I really don't have any other motivation for doing this other than just I love it. I love working with different mediums. I think that it can be a really good way to challenge oneself, is by incorporating different mediums into one's art. And so that's when it comes to making my own prints, that's something that I really enjoy when it comes to exploring photography. And I do make my own prints. I print everything right here. I have a printer, a Canon Pixma 200 Pro. It's not super high. I mean, it is expensive printer, or at least expensive to me. But I really do love that thing. I enjoyed the process of figuring out the paper that I wanted. I buy my paper through Red River Paper. And mind you, none of this is, I'm just talking about the tools that I use and that nothing here is sponsored at all. But these are just the things that I like and the things that work for me in my current workflow and process. But I do like Red River Paper, which is what that print is printed on. I do have some Canon paper as well, but I did not enjoy that paper as much as the paper from Red River. Okay, that actually looks really, and this is lemon scented, so well, you see, I know you can see that nice shine on the camera there, but there's a nice smell as well. There's a nice aroma here. That should just about do it for the frame there. I almost said the canvas, but it kind of is the canvas for all intents and purposes. That does look really, that looks a lot nicer than it did just a minute ago. And there's a good chance I'm gonna end up touching up like the frame here, just kind of re-oiling it and stuff like that. As we go here. All right, so that looks really nice. That looks really nice. I don't think that can, it looks so much better than what it did before. So what I'm gonna do next here, because I'm trying to debate exactly how I want to go about adhering everything to this part of the frame. The moss fell off the side of my table here. Got our moss. Let's see, I've got a little bit of warm water here just to clean things off. I think what I'm going to do, now I do have this Gorilla Glue spray adhesive, and I don't know how well this will work, which I'm sure it's Gorilla Glue. It's got to be at least pretty decent. But I do also have this huge jug of clear glue, Craft Smart clear glue that I got at Michael's a while back for a different project that I think that it's still going to work well for. That is a lot thicker in terms of application, which is why I have this this little brush here. I think I want to try the Gorilla Glue first. Let's actually go ahead, get some of this moss out. Oh, that's messy. That's just a little bit messy. We don't mind though. We don't mind a little mess. We like a little bit of mess. Let's see what I've got here. I love these. I really love these. We're gonna want some of these in here. I don't know about you. I want some of this. So let's get all of this. Make it a mess. I didn't realize. Yep, I'm gonna end up sweeping my room, or vacuuming, whatever, whatever gets it done. So let's see here. Methinks, because what I want something that's gonna go well with the image here. So I'm thinking I want the bottom line here, just straight up moss, maybe a little here, maybe a little here, but yep, that's exactly what we're gonna do. Sweet. All right, so I think what I'm gonna do here is, in order to, because the one thing about the clear glue is it's really thick. So what I really kind of want to do is kind of lay down sort of the foundation. So I'm thinking probably want some of the purple stuff, some of that pepper stuff. We want that up here. I can kind of stretch this out a bit. We're gonna want some of the purple stuff up here. There might even be a good, I didn't think about it like that. I'm sorry, now you're actually gonna get to kind of see my process as I'm going. I was thinking, because initially as I was placing this here, I was thinking about trimming it down so that it's a lot neater. But then I realized that it would actually look really cool with it hanging off a bit. So I think that's probably what I'm gonna do there. This here, I had a much more uniformed idea for this, and I'm starting to think that it's not going to be that at all, and I'm really excited to start placing things on this. So actually, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna jump into some of this. Okay, so I was thinking about keeping it a lot cleaner and a lot more uniform. I don't want to do that. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get real creative on this thing. So I do for sure. Ooh. I'm gonna have to open that back door over here. I'm gonna put this here. Yeah, this is about oh my god, oh my god. This is becoming very unlike what I had initially envisioned it in my head already, and I love it. I genuinely love it. I am always very open to just the way things change, and allowing things to be what they need to be instead of what I want them to be, to a degree. I'm not sure if that's the most accurate way to describe this. Already that is way better than what I was kind of planning. Actually, now that I think about it, I probably should have laid down crystals first and then put the moss on top, because I think that it would be cool to kind of see the crystals through the moss. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to double back here and lay down some crystals. I'm not going for anything specific in terms of pattern or anything. I just want it all down. So, some scissors. Come on now. Come on now. I need sharper scissors. There we go. Alright. I had initially bought these crushed quartz and amethyst crystals for a different project, which I will share at another time. But I am really excited to kind of see them in this project. This wasn't their initially intended use, but I do think that this is going to be really, really cool when it's all done. Okay. Let's get us a little bit more glue down here. What we're going to do, I'm thinking about kind of doing solid parts of quartz and amethyst. If I decide to change my mind, I'll change my mind, but right now that's kind of what I'm feeling for this piece. So let's go ahead. Let's get us some quartz. It's pretty, and I know I don't have a very uniform or attractive way of placing these. I am going to need something. I think actually the big glue is going to be better for this specific part. So I am going to switch glues. So it'll actually give the crystal something to stick in, and I think that's something that this is going to need here. So, never be afraid to change your plan, to change directions. I think it is very important to be flexible. You never know where life or anything is going to take you. I always loved the Bruce Lee quote, water, be like water. Water can crash or it can flow. Be water, my friend. It's something to that effect. And I've always loved just the concept of the way that water is something that's seen as formless and very malleable, will cut through something as sturdy and immovable as stone, like a mountain, you know what I mean? I think it's very important to be open to change, to be open to just seeing where your creativity and where life takes you. I haven't always been super open to just chance and possibility, and I have found that when I am, life is just a lot more rewarding. And it's scary. I know it's scary, but you can't let fear stop you. It's okay to be afraid, but just do the thing scared, because that is still an option. All right, so we've got some more glue in here. I'm gonna add some amethyst. Let's go. I prefer to add more than I need. I will separate what's left later, just so I can get good coverage. I can get that good coverage, and I pat it in. To make sure that it's down in there sticking. I'm gonna lose some. Even after I let this sit and dry, I'm still gonna lose some. Some's gonna fall out, but I'll recollect all the stragglers later. That's beautiful. Okay, I think I'm gonna end up laying some moss over that. I meant to leave a little bit of room, kind of in this portion here, where I was gonna add a little bit more moss. That is okay, Probably going to add it right up here. I can always overlay moss over the crystal, and that's, I think, ultimately what I really want to do. So, actually saying that, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add crystal to the rest of this here, and then we'll worry about the moss after. This is... I needed a finer brush, but I didn't realize until I was sitting down to make this video that I think I left the pack of brushes that I bought this year, or rather last year now. I think I left them in Florida, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. It's not like they were... It was a pack of cheap brushes, and I will just buy another pack of cheap brushes, you know. Easy come, easy go. It is all right. Alright, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just get the glue all the way around here. I might add a little more after when I get to the side over here, just to make sure it's fresh. Let's... I needed a smaller brush for sure. Oi. This one's gonna be a little rough. I'm debating between keeping this piece or selling it. I really do love this piece. And if you remember the print, it is that is a little Kodama from Princess Mononoke. I really want to do more anime inspired prints, and I haven't figured out the best way to go about that, but these little images with the Kodama are kind of part of a way that I'm looking to explore anime through my photography. That's always been a very big influence in my life. I was introduced to anime at a very young age. Actually, to the point where the person who introduced me to anime was not aware of what anime was, which is kind of cool. He just put me on to this stuff that he loved. And I appreciate that endlessly. I love sharing things that I'm passionate about with people that I care about. I think that it's so important. It's storytelling. And as I said in my intro, I see myself as a storyteller. I think that storytelling is such an important part of the human experience that I think that we often take for granted just how important that is. All right. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Okay. So I think this is actually going to end up needing a couple of goings overs. I'm not wholly sure what that's going to look like at the moment, but I will accommodate that however I need to. I think we might need some more quartz in this side here. I should have tried to pour that way. There we go. There we go. Okay. Alright, so I am actually just going to try and pat some of this down. I want to make sure it's really kind of in there firmly. Make sure it's actually... There we go. Now, I think one thing that could potentially end up being difficult for this piece is putting especially if the crystals are not secure, and I put moss on top of the crystal, the moss could fall off. So I do want to be mindful of that. Let me grab a little, I'm over here like, you see that? I'm like flicking stuff and it's like, hold on, like I've got important things around here that I can't mess up. Okay. Put that down in. A lot of this is going to fall off. When I do pick it up, I always do try to put excess on there. It is far easier that way. Kind of clean that up just a little bit. Okay. So, with all of this in here, there's not a whole lot more I can do right at this stage. I've definitely got to let these things dry, see how they sit, and then afterwards, I'm going to come back and see what exactly I can do for the next step. The next step, I'm going to add some more moss. I'm thinking we're going to get some of this green moss on this side here and do some of this purple stuff right up top here. So let me let this dry, and then we'll come back and we'll finish this all up.
A few moments later.
Okay. All right, so we are back. I'm actually not really sure around what time I did all this and shot everything last night, but it's definitely more than 12 hours later. So all of this should be dry. As you can see, like I mentioned, some of the crystals were going to fall off. Like not everything was really secured deep in there. So I think what I'm just going to do here is a little bit of, let's just, make a little bit of mess. I want to shake it because I really do want the loose ones to fall off. Do it both ways. Okay, so I believe that's most of it. And as you can see, it still looks pretty. I'm gonna end up having to clean off, wipe this thing down and get some of these extra ones. I don't want them up on the edge here. Oh, that might just be glue. Okay, so I'm gonna end up wiping this thing down a bit, just to kind of clean it up, which I probably won't do on camera. I just kind of want to get the bulk of this together. Actually, I don't mind that it comes up a little bit here. I kind of like that. In my mind, I'm kind of seeing it as the crystals growing out from the image, so I think I'm actually not going to clean up too much of that. But I do think I'm going to end up doing an additional round of crystals in a couple of places. So I think right here is actually really light. So I am going to want to get some more crystals in there, and actually probably right around here as well, maybe a little bit in this corner. But some of these spots are actually spots where I'm going to be placing some more moss. So that's actually the next step that I want to do. I want to get more of the moss on there so I can kind of see what all of this is going to look like, look more like in the finished piece. Let me see. Let's get this moss out of here. I'm going to be using a couple of pieces of this. I really do like this moss too. I actually got this from Michael's. It was pretty cheap. I think it was like $7-8 or something like that. I'd picked up a different bag first, and I think that bag was like $1 cheaper, but I don't think that was actual moss. I believe this is actually preserved moss. So like this moss feels better and looks better. The other moss definitely had a much more artificial sort of feel and look to it. And so I really do like that I was able to find this bag while I was wandering around the store before I left. So let's go ahead. Where do I want? Okay, so I think I'm gonna start on this left side here. I'm gonna pick some smaller pieces. Like I said, I can add a little, maybe something like here. I'm thinking I kind of want to blend that transition sort of from the quartz to the amethyst. I mean, not blend, I guess more so by placing the moss here, I'm covering that transition to just kind of give it I don't know, in my mind it's a nicer look. That is a chunky guy. Let me see if I can stretch it out just a little. That's not really, it's tearing when I try to pull it. So let's see, I'm gonna need some glue here. This might be dry. Oh, nope, that actually is still very wet. Hell yeah. Now that big jug of glue that I showed earlier in the video, I actually did get that from Michael's as well, and it was also really cheap. And I knew I was going to be doing stuff like this. There's another thing that I worked on that I have to kind of redo, which I will show you all once that project is finished and ready. A lot of these sorts of projects, these multimedia, I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to be putting them. I really do like selling my prints and stuff like that in person. I spoke with a local shop about potentially hosting some of my prints there for sale, and I'm just not 100% sure if that's the route I'm going to take, or if maybe I have my Etsy shop and maybe I will post things like this on there for sale where people can buy them. I don't really like the idea of like shipping projects like these. I worked for the post office years and years ago, and I know how projects are, how packages are handled. So the idea of like shipping something like this especially makes me really nervous. I might find something, and again, I'm not like super just well versed or knowledgeable on crafting and stuff like that. So I'm thinking that I might need to find something to maybe seal this with to just kind of help protect it a little. You know what I mean? But we'll see. This is, yeah, I like that. Need to make sure I actually press on the stuff when I place it. I think the last time that I worked with crystals in a medium like this, that was the big mistake that I made, was I placed the crystals and I did not push on everything to make sure that it actually got down into the glue. But I do really like this glue. Actually, that Gorilla Glue feels really solid too. Now, I don't think I'm going to use this again on top of it, because I did notice when I was spraying it down, it left like a white sort of kind of tint, whereas this glue goes on clear. So I'm going to stick with this for the remainder of the project. I can actually probably just go ahead and put this away. And I think we're going to move on to some of this purple moss here. And I had mentioned before, I really want this up in the corner up here, so that's exactly what I'm going to work on doing. I wonder what's going to be the best. I know some of this is going to be hanging down, and I actually am kind of liking the effect that that's going to give, which you'll see when it's all put together. That's the same reason why I put this piece. I had initially planned to cut this piece up and put it in a few different places, but I think I actually really like the way it kind of juts up, because nature just does what it wants. Nature doesn't really care about the boundaries that you put in place for your plans and your ideas. It just kind of grows and does what it needs to do, what it wants to do and what it needs to do. So I kind of like the effect that kind of gives with this here. So we are going to go ahead and we're going to place this here. I need some glue. Probably going to need a lot of glue. See, I'm getting a lot of additional quartz and amethyst crystals are coming off, which is just fine. There's probably only a couple of places that I'm going to like actually place more crystals. But I definitely did not expect all of them to stay in place after drying. Try to not get a ton of this stuff clumped on here. I'm gonna have so much cleaning to do once this is all done. Okay, and I'm trying to be very generous with the glue, because at the end of the day, especially with this clear stuff, it's not really going to take away from the, and as you can see, I'm actually losing quite a bit of the crystals here. Maybe I didn't push on certain parts well enough. I might actually end up going through and on all the areas where the crystal is exposed, adding some additional, and maybe that'll assist. But then again, now that I think about it, that'll just be putting it on top of crystals that might not be quite secure. I'm gonna figure out exactly what's going to work best for that. So let's kind of get this in here. Press it. It's gonna press that on. Now, I didn't go this far over with the glue. I'm thinking I might just go ahead and cut this piece off. There we go. Pulled the whole thing. So maybe this moss isn't gonna work well. And that's probably it because of the stringy nature of it. Maybe there's not enough contact with the glue to get it to actually stay there. So I think what I'm probably gonna do is actually just go back and just use the rest of this moss, and maybe leave it at that. There probably is a way to make that purple moss work better. Maybe that's something I can explore in another. This print that I'm doing this for is actually going to be, it's the first in a series that I'm going to be doing with the Kodama, and I will maybe save some of this moss for some of those prints. Save that purple moss. So let's get this right in here in the corner. So then that way I'm not looking to, yeah, because see when I press that on, that goes right, that goes right on there very well. So this just covers a lot more surface area. Gets that nice good contact. All right, I'm loving it. Mickey D's, I'm loving it. All right, so let's maybe, that's actually not quite enough glue. Let's add just some more. There we go. And get that right in there, yeah. Press on it, press on it. Yeah. Yeah. This moss, and I really do like the way this moss feels. There's something about that just, I love that texture. I love that sensation. I'm actually thinking, I'm trying to debate if I should add a little bit more moss or not. Let's see, maybe a small piece or two. Do I have some glue there? Is there glue there? There's a little bit of glue there. Let's maybe press that on there. Press that right on there, perfect. This here. And actually, maybe I can just dip this in this glue a little bit. Oh, that's kind of difficult. I kind of want to just throw a little piece. Maybe like right here. It's sticking more to my finger than it is to, yeah, so I've got to place because otherwise it's just sticking to my finger, so I actually have to place the glue. Actually, I think I'm losing, you probably can't see it, but I think I'm getting a little bit of green on my fingertips there. Oh, pardon me. Okay. Just a tiny little something. Go right on there. Go right on there. And I don't mind if some of these like purple strands kind of get caught up on it. Like it's fine. It'll still add to the aesthetic. Whew. She come together well. All right, all right. So now this is actually going to need um, some time to. This is actually going to need some time to dry, and I'm probably going to go back over and redo a couple of things. Um, so give me just a moment. I'm going to take this off, clean down my workstation, and then we're going to put everything together. Choo choo. All right, all right. So now that we're back, what I'm going to start with is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut out this print. Now, this print is actually the total dimensions are 8.5 by 11. However, that frame, the slot for the frame, or I'm sorry, the slot for the picture in the frame is 8 by 10. So I did print this to 8 by 10 with the border, but it's not going to fit with the border on it. I think got a little bit of stuff on the print here. Ooh, oh no. I think I'm making it worse. Yeah, I shouldn't have had this on the table while I was working on that other stuff. It got a little messy. Okay, but it's good. It's not really affecting it. So, now, I highly recommend if you do any kind of work with your hands, if you're any kind of artist in that capacity or anything really, I have always had shaky hands since I was really young. Generally what I do, especially before I go shooting, is I make sure to eat, and that reduces it greatly. I have not eaten yet today, and so my hands are a little bit more shaky than normal, but that is okay. It's not going to mess this up. So I'm using an X-Acto knife. I chose to use this instead of scissors because I feel like it's very easy to misalign with the scissors. At least for me it is. So I'm gonna try not to do that. Should be easier for me to just ride the line here. Maybe even just a little back from it. Okay. I'm just trying to get as close to this as possible. I'm expecting to have just a little bit of all right. I gotta be careful. I got stuff on my hands. Got a little schmutz on my fingers. Oh no, that one's off. So I might end up reprinting this image. We will see if I might just want a more crisp version to actually go in the frame. Okay, one more side. All right. Ooh, and is that just gonna peel off like that? That'd have been too. That'd have been too easy. Oh, actually. So maybe I didn't go deep enough on those sides. Let's see. Let's see. Ooh. Ooh. Crispy. All right. I'm gonna end up having to wipe this thing back down, but that is actually really nice. Just like that. Don't pay attention to how dirty this box is. This is actually 13 by 19 paper that I got from Red River. I believe I mentioned it earlier. I love Red River paper. I love the quality, and especially the I like their polar metallic paper. It just does something for the colors. It adds almost like a luminance to the colors in my prints, and also with the black and white, it also creates a really cool effect. I highly suggest Red River. They have a sample pack that you can get that's super cheap. So if you just want to try out their papers, you don't necessarily have to commit to buying a ton of paper from them. So we're gonna sit this here. I think right now what we're gonna do, let's go ahead. Bloop, we want all of this here. Ooh. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's go ahead. Burp, 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 burp. I can probably end up cutting a new piece of cardboard for this, because this is the original one that kind of came in it, and it is kind of, it's a little rough. It's just a little rough. We got this here. Let me get something. These the pins on this one are sharp, sharp, sharp. Just need something to help me push these down. I really hope this is gonna look as dope as I imagined it when I saw this frame. It's literally, from the moment I saw it, I just had this idea, and I almost wavered on it and did something different. Now I actually, where did I just sit that? So this is actually the image that came in the frame. Just, you know, some kind of painting or, yeah. You know, I'm always thrifting frames. I'm always finding really unique pieces. I actually have a lot of thrifted frames that I have not done anything with. All things in time. All right, now let's see. I believe this is the bottom here. Let's see how this came out. Ooh! Oh my. That is exactly, I know there's a bit of a glare on it there, but look at that. Look at that. That's gorgeous, right? I feel like it just, oh, this is exactly what I was thinking. This is exactly what I saw in my head. Let me, whoop. Hold that up there like that. Yeah. Yeah. Now there's other work that definitely has to go into this. I'm gonna go back over some of the crystals a bit and see what exactly I need to do to make sure all of that is nice and secure. But this is, I love the way this turned out. And I always have such a difficult time because I'll make a piece like this, and then I just want it for myself. But I do think that I might end up selling this one. And again, I'm not sure if that's going to be a situation where I sell it locally, or if it's going to end up going up on the Three Eyed Studios Etsy page. But whatever I decide, I'll definitely make a post and just share whether that can be found or not, or whether this is going to be my own little treat to me. Because I absolutely. Ooh, there's actually a little bit of. That's a little loose. I'll work on that. We'll see. But yeah, I really just, I really love the way this piece turned out. And I appreciate you, if you've stayed and watched the whole video. I really, really appreciate you doing so. If you enjoyed this and enjoy content like this, absolutely drop a like, leave me a comment down below. I absolutely intend on making more videos like this, especially as I have different sort of pieces that I want to work on. It's just something that I love to do, even if it's not something that I do to actually sell. I just really enjoy making stuff like this and exploring my creativity through these other means. So thank you again. Hope you liked and subscribed, and we'll see you back again for the next one. Peace.